Yeah, I'll get through today, so how he manages that. We're shooting for the weekend game. We will play tomorrow, but he looked like he got through it just fine. I don't think there's going to be an issue.
Anything on E-Rod?
Yeah, we don't think this is, well, we know it's not long term. He may well play Saturday as well. He's not going to play tomorrow, but I didn't have him scheduled for tomorrow anyway.
Upper or lower? Or is it,
Doesn't matter.
doesn't
He's
matter?
going to be healed by the time he gets back on the ice. So,
We just like to tell the folks.
yeah, no, I appreciate it. Appreciate it.
You guys, I know we talked about the fun stuff, the flags and all the banners. Monday night, just talking to a couple players about the ring ceremony.
Yeah.
They seem to be pretty excited. Like you said before, nobody knows what they look like.
No,
Is that
but
kind of
no, that's
accurate?
true. Like there's been no. Yeah, that's true. It's kind of Christmas a little bit, right? You're going to get something that you've always wanted, and we have no idea exactly what it looks like. Probably won't matter. It's going to be fabulous either way. Like I don't think there's an either way. I think it's just going to be a great, kind of tangible reminder of the year.
And you guys, going back to this season now, you lost so much of your fourth line guys.
Yeah.
How have you liked the additions that you've brought in now that you've had a couple weeks with them? AJ Greer, perhaps, in particular?
Yeah, really good. We played. He was very, very effective against us 2 years ago. We kind of really hit our radar then. Liked all of them. It's a fact of where we're at, and it's a really good thing. At the end of the day, the players that have come in and played on our fourth line have played very, very well for us and been impactful. And because of that, they're going to get paid at a level that means they have to move on. And it's just the way this is going to work. So, and then there have been other players like Patty Giles come in and make a case for himself. So there's probably more competition there. Clouded considerably at times by the Nosek injury. This is a player we've got to see 2 shifts from, but we know him as well. We're comfortable for sure where we're at with that group, and we think we've got at least one other player because he's healthy competing for that job. It's going to make it a difficult decision at the end.
So looking at the 2 groups you guys had out there for practice today, it really seems like that first group is kind of condensing into what could be the opening lineup, opening night lineup. Is everything kind of coming together there?
I mean, I think it becomes clearer as you go in camp. A lot of the guys that weren't on the ice are actually playing tomorrow as well. Starting point for today wasn't kind of cutting down to your group. It's I only wanted a certain number of bodies on the ice so that we could go faster and I could get more intense work out of them on a shorter duration. So it's a training camp, right? Not a tryout camp. At the end of the day, the driving force is to get your best players up to speed. You run 5 lines in 8D, and that's fine because you can go harder, longer. But then there gets to a point, as I said yesterday, we transitioned to speed. We want smaller numbers on the ice. I took the guys that are playing tomorrow, and I kept them out of that group, the big group, because the big group went heavier and harder than the group that didn't go. It'll give the guys that are playing a chance tomorrow night to have some good legs, and then Thursday will be a fairly substantial roster trim.
We've talked a number of times about Giles. You had him on the right side.
Yeah.
Last night you were talking about the face-off thing. Is that an opportunity for him to get into the lineup where you don't have to worry about him playing center if you show Jesper or whatever?
Yeah, the driver of that is we think we know what Patty looks like on the wing, but he's considerably faster than he was last year, so we needed him. And it's a good opportunity for him to get a chance at center, but Bokus will play center tomorrow night. And so will Patty, but we're also going to make sure that we have a good understanding of what we have on our roster at center ice options. And then Patty got out on the wing today, and you get to freed up a little bit on the wing, and he looked every bit as fast. There are some players, and I would submit Sam Bennett as a guy that actually can play faster in the middle of the ice. And there are some players that when you take that center responsibility away from them, they look faster on the wing. And it's a case-by-case basis. Patty has shown then right now to be both, been able to look really quick and use his size and speed on the wing today.
And with Jesper, be able to see them, so you've had him on basically all camp now.
Yeah.
Look in at
And that's as much for today as it is for 2 months from now, because you're going to lose a center at some point. That always happens. You have to make a decision on whether that means Luosterainen comes into the middle, which would probably be option 1 on our top 9. But I want to see what sometimes you want to see the centerman, but you also want to then know I've got this kind of centerman, I need certain kind of wings to make him effective.
Saying that Bill Manis is out there with that big NHL group, I mean, what is he showing you this far to kind of stick into that group?
Yeah.
That kind of opportunity?
In part, we had he and Sam Miskevich running into in the hole with Lundell and Luosterainen. He's got a skill set. We also think, and it may be more longer term, that he's still a young player, and we want to see him with. This was basically all speed, right? So you've got all the players that are, for the most part, NHL players on that ice today, and then you get a look at a young player, how quick his hands can be, how quick he can move his feet. So it's just a look for that player. He's had a good camp. I think he can play both sides. Like to see him on the left at some point, but I think he's certainly on our radar.